धनुस्तैषवासरथो हयास्ते तद्वै धनुस्तैषवासरथो हयास्ते
तद्वै धनुस्तैषवासरथो हयास्ते
सोऽहं रथी नृपतयो यत आनमन्ति
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 सर्वं शनेन तदबुद्धसतीशरिक्ताम्
सर्वं सनेन तदबुदसदीवरिष्ठाम्
सर्वं शनेन तदबुद्धसतीशरिक्ताम्
सर्वं शनेन तदबुदईश्वरिक्ताम्
भस्मन् हुतं कुहकराधमिवोक्तमुष्याम्
भस्मान्भुतं कुहरं विभुम्
भस्मन् हुतं कुहकराधमिवोक्तमुष्याम्
भस्मान्भुतं कुहरं विभुम्
तद्वै धनुस्तैषवासरथो हयास्ते
तद्वै धनुस्तैश्वरथो हयस्ते
सोऽहं रथी नृपतयो यत आनमन्ति
सोऽहं रतिपतयो यतानमन्ति
सर्वं शनेन तदबुधसतीशरिक्तम्
सर्वं सनेन तव विश्वरिक्तम्
भस्मन् हुतं कुहकराधमिवोक्तमुष्याम्
भस्मान्भूतं कुहकम्
Recited.
तद्वै धनुस्तैषवस्वरथो हयस्ते
तद्वै धनुस्तैषवासरथो हयास्ते
सोऽहं रतिनृपतयो यत आनमन्ति
सोऽहं रथी नृपतयो यत आनमन्ति
सर्वं सनेन तदभयुदसदीश्वरिक्तम्
सर्वं शनेन तदबुद्धसदीशरिक्तम्
भस्मं हुतं कुहकरदम् इव त्वम् उच्यम्
भस्मन् हुतं कुहकराधमिवोक्तमुष्याम् Thank you. Word for word translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Tat, the same, why, certainly, dhanute, the same bow, ishva, arrows, sir, the very same, ratha, chariot, hayate, the very same horses, sa aham, I am the same Arjuna, rathi, the chariot fighter, Nripataya, all the kings, Yata, whom, Anamanti, offered their respects, Sarvam, all, Shanena, at a moment's notice, Tat, all those, Abhut, became, Asat, useless, Isha, because of the Lord, Riktam, being void, Bhasman, ashes, Hutam, offering butter, Kuhakaradham, money created by magical feats, Iva, like that, Uktam, sown, Ushyam, in barren land. Translation: I have the very same Gandiva bow, the same arrows, the same chariot drawn by the same horses. and I use them as the same Arjuna to whom all the kings offered their due respects. But in the absence of Lord Krishna, all of them, at a moment's notice, have become null and void. It is exactly like offering clarified butter on ashes, accumulating money with a magic wand, or sowing seeds on barren land. Purport: as we have discussed more than once, one should not be puffed up by borrowed plumes. All energies and powers are derived from the Supreme Source, Lord Krishna, and they act as long as he desires and cease to function. Excuse me. All energies and powers are derived from the Supreme Source, Lord Krishna, and they act as long as he desires and cease to function as soon as he withdraws. All electrical energies are received from the powerhouse, and as soon as the powerhouse stops supplying energy, the bulbs are of no use. In a moment's time, such energies can be generated or withdrawn by the supreme will of the Lord. Material civilization without the blessing of the Lord is child's play only. As long as the parents allow the child to play, it is all right. As soon as the parents withdraw, the child has to stop. Human civilization and all activities thereof must be dovetailed with the supreme blessing of the Lord. And without this blessing, all advancement of human civilization is like decoration on a dead body. It is said here that the dead civilization and its activities are something like clarified butter on ashes. The accumulation of money by a magic wand, and the sowing of seeds in a barren land. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnaveshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindomayeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Krishna dear devotees, thank you for joining. Online, Piyush Prabhu and Rahul Prabhu, thank you for joining. We are reading Canto 1, Chapter 15, Text 21, translation again. I have the very same Gandiva bow, the same arrows, the same chariot drawn by the same horses, and I use them as the same Arjuna, to whom all the kings offered their due respects. But in the absence of Lord Krishna, all of them, at a moment's notice, have become null and void. It is exactly like offering clarified butter on ashes, accumulating money with a magic wand, or sowing seeds on barren land. We are hearing from Arjuna after Lord Krishna has departed from the earthly past. He has stopped or closed his earthly manifest pastimes, and he has went to the spiritual world. So Arjuna is lamenting that Lord Krishna has left and how he is now powerless, although he was so formidable. But now, at a moment's notice, after Lord Krishna has left, he doesn't have any such opulences or power. In the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, the first chapter is observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So there's a very beautiful description of armies, both sides, warriors. And then there's a very nice description how Lord Krishna and Arjuna enters the scene. I heard in one of the classes, just like the entry of the main hero of the movie. It's always very interesting. Similarly, when Krishna and Arjuna enters, it's a very beautiful verse. We'll read that from Bhagavad Gita. It's chapter 1, text number. Text number 14. Anybody would like to read text chapter 1, text 14?
On the other side, both Lord Krishna and
Shloka. Shloka.
Okay.
Or should I read the shloka?
Sure.
तथा श्वेतैर्युक्ते महती स्यानदने स्थितौ माधवा पाण्डवश्चैव दिव्यो शङ्खो प्रदद्मतौ.
On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental counsel. Purport.
Yeah.
In contrast with the counsel blown by Bhismadev, the counsel in the hands of Krishna and Arjuna are described as transcendental. The sounding of the transcendental counsel indicated that there was no hope of victory for the other side because Krishna was on the side of Pandavas. Jayastu Pandu Putrana Yesam Pakshe Janardana. Victory is always with persons like the sons of Pandu because Lord Krishna is associated with them. And whenever and wherever the Lord is present, the goddess of fortune is also there because goddess of fortune never lives alone without her husband. Therefore, victory and fortune were awaiting Arjuna as indicated by the transcendental sound produced by the counsel of Vishnu or the Lord Krishna. Besides that, the chariot on which both the friends are seated, this sorry, seated had been donated by Agni, the fire god, to Arjuna. This indicated that the chariot was capable of conquering all sides, wherever it was drawn over the three worlds.
Thank you for that. So we see that Arjuna is explaining Shwetair Hayryukte, the horses, the chariot drawn by white horses. So the same here Arjuna is saying, my Gandiva bow, this arrows, the same chariot. We heard from Vishal Prabhu in earlier classes that how Agni Dev approached Arjuna for a favor. Somehow it is said that he had an indigestion. Somebody put a lot of butter in the fire and he had difficulty in digesting that butter. So he wanted to have some herbs which was available in a special forest called Khandav forest. And there was a demon, or there was a snake, Takshak, who was a friend of Indra, who used to live in that forest. So because of that, Indra would protect that forest. So Agni was not able to consume that forest. So he requested help from Arjuna. Although Agni is a demigod, is one of the demigods, he is approaching a human being because he is a devotee of Krishna. So Arjuna, with permission from Lord Krishna, he agrees to help, and then he requests for, I think, the special weapons so that he can fight the demons, Takshak and his entourage, and that way he can help Agni to devour that forest. At that time, Agni gives these special Gandiva bow and a quiver, which has unlimited supply of arrows, and then this special chariot drawn by white horses. with a flag of Hanumanji at the top. So that time, that's how he received these special um, weapons, and he helps Agni to devour the entire forest. So we can see that Arjuna was so formidable when Lord Krishna was present. When Arjuna was young as a child, he would learn the art of archery from his teacher Dronacharya, along with his brother Duryodhana and Party. So there was a contest where they wanted to see who is the best warrior amongst the Kurus. The Kurus, both sides were called Kurus. It was this Kuru dynasty. One of the ancestors was King Kuru. So Dronacharya arranged a match, and Arjuna was found to be the best warrior. He was able to practice even when it was dark. It is said um, the Dronacharya did not want Arjuna to eat in the dark. Somehow he he saw that he could eat in the dark night. So he said, if I can eat in the night, I can even practice archery in the night time without light. So he started practicing shooting arrows in the night. So he was such an expert warrior, he could shoot arrows in the night. It is also said that he conquered sleep. He's known as Gudakesha. And he's in Bhagavad Gita, he's addressed as Gudakesha. Guda means sleep. Gudak means sleep, and Isha means who is a who conquers, controls, who can control sleep. So this sleep means the physical sleep that we fall prey to. I could not wake up this morning, Mangalarti, but Vishal Prabhu, our dear Vishal Prabhu, he woke up, we go. So this one can conquer material sleep by the mercy of Krishna. And Arjuna also conquered material ignorance because he requests guidance from Krishna when he was going to fight the battle. He was captured by ignorance. He didn't know clearly what is my duty, but because he sought guidance from Lord Krishna, so he was saved from this material ignorance. And because of that, we received this great knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. I also heard from one of our teachers, His Holiness Bhakti Vignan Swami, that Arjuna is actually a tree. Arjuna refers to a tree. There are trees and which grows straight. There are no bends in that tree. It's straight. Yamala Arjun tree, which Lord Krishna brought down while as a baby. They were very tall, straight. So similarly, Arjuna's character was very straightforward. He had this mode of simplicity. So that's why he could accept his predicament, his perplexity. He could accept his inferiority, that I cannot do this on my own. And he was able to surrender in front of Lord Krishna, and he could explain his heart. So similarly, if we become simple-hearted, if we can become humble like Arjuna, then we can share our heart to Krishna. We can receive the same guidance from Krishna like Arjuna received even today. From the pages of Bhagavad Gita, from Krishna who is seated in our heart as Paramatma, and from Krishna who is present as spiritual master. Krishna comes in these two forms, Chaitya Guru in our heart and Acharya outside. There is a verse in 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam where Uddhava says to Lord Krishna that I cannot express my gratitude to you even if I get a lifetime of Brahma, because you help me, you guide me as Paramatma within my heart and as an Acharya outside. So no, we cannot express our gratitude to you. In our material world, we have many people who are well-wishers, maybe our parents or acquaintances. in order to get guidance from them, it takes some time. We have to approach them. We need some quality time to sit together and hear. For the advisors who are doing PhD, you have to set up a slot, in the week. For managers, we have to have one-on-one every 2 weeks or once a month. For parents also, we sometimes have to match our timings, India and US. But Krishna is right there in our heart to give us guidance. Spiritual masters' words are available always, even if spiritual master is not available physically. So these two are always available. Shastra is available for us. So Arjuna was very humble. That's why he could get the advantage of this. He could derive the benefit of Lord Krishna's words. So, and now he's lamenting that even though I have all those material opulence, I have the same bow, I have the same arrows, I have the same horses, same chariot, I am the same Arjuna to whom all the kings would bow down and offer respects. But all my knowledge, all my prowess has left me in a moment's notice. Last week I saw, there was a power, what is that called? Power outage. Yeah. So, Prabhupada gives the example of powerhouse here, that we in US, we know that power is always there. We just take it for granted. But actually, at a moment's notice, there won't be any power. We are so much dependent on the powerhouse, PG&E, or anybody else. There are forest fires in Los Angeles. So we are thinking that we are safe wherever we are, but actually, at a moment's notice, things may change. I was talking with Jesh, who was saying the air quality is so bad that people can't breathe in Los Angeles. They are having respiratory problems, lung problems. So here we are sitting in the most developed country in the world, and we are thinking we are so-called secure. But in a moment's notice, things may change. So Prabhupada is saying that one should not be proud of the borrowed plumes. Can we check the meaning of plumes?
It's a long feather that belongs to peacock or birds, and then they use it as an ornamentation, or the boat has it's a feather arrangement.
Can see. What does it say in Devaguru?
PLUMS, right?
PLUMES. This is how you have it?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
A long, soft feather arrangement of feathers used by a bird for display or worn by a person as an ornament.
Yeah. So many, maybe birds have this nice arrangement, peacocks especially, and then people try to imitate it. Get this, but those plumes are borrowed plumes. They do not belong to us. What is that person? Jack Sparrow. Jack Sparrow, the pirates,
Yeah.
right?
The kind of
He wears that feather on
Yes.
his hat. So it's a borrowed plume. It doesn't belong to a person. So we should not be proud of it borrowed plumes. On the other hand, when Lord Krishna wears a peacock feather, it belongs to him because everything emanates from him. All beauty emanates from Lord Krishna. But if somebody else wears a peacock feather, he won't look so handsome as Lord Krishna. It only befits Krishna, his minerals and peacock feathers. So we should try to understand in our life, whatever capacity I have, it's coming from Lord Krishna. In the 7th chapter, Krishna says, Paurusham Rishu, I am the ability in man. There are a few verses in 7th chapter where Krishna is explaining how he is the source of everything. Matta parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutre maniganaiva. This is chapter 7, text number 7. Oh, it's nice, easy to remember. It's one of the most important verses, 7.7. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as the pearls are strung on a thread. So, Lord Krishna is the foundation of everything. So, before that, um, in last three verses, Krishna's enumerates or delineates his energies, material energy and spiritual energy. So, text 4, would you like to read the translation?
7.2.
Yes.
Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, all together, these eight constitute my separated material energies.
Okay, we shall go text 6. Text 5, actually.
Besides these, O mighty young Arjun, there is another superior energy of mind, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature.
Jeshpur. Yes.
All created beings have their source in these two natures. Of all that is not material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and the solution.
So Krishna has delineated both the energies that we see in this world, material energy and spiritual energy. There is a periodic table, it has more than 100 elements. It's hard to remember them, but it's easy to remember earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego. On fingers, we can count them. So this is anything in this material world is composed of these eight. And there's one other element which is अप्रेयम इतस्त्वन्यम प्रकृतिम विद्धि में पराम जीव भूता महाबाहो ये धारते जगत. That is the text 5, that there is superior energy of mind, which is a living entity who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. So we see these two energies working everywhere.
Mm.
But Krishna is saying, of all these, all created beings have their source in these two natures. So we have our bodies made up of matter and there is spirit. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution. So Krishna is the origin. Krishna is the dissolution also. So he can withdraw at a moment's notice. I was remembering when in childhood or even when we grow up, when we fall sick, we actually lose so much capacity, even to comprehend things, to walk, to talk, all these faculties that we take for granted. At a moment's notice, some person actually can, I mean, those big people who are very successful, they can, at a moment's notice, make so many decisions, do so many things. But when a person is sick, he cannot even eat, he cannot even walk, or he can't even understand or comprehend a thought. So we are so vulnerable. I think that all this is coming from me, but I feel purified when I am sick. I understand my limited nature. I understand that I'm not all in all. I'm dependent on some higher power. So a person who is sober, he should think, he should introspect. Who is the source of this power? Who is giving me? How is there disparity in this world? There has to be some sentient source who is allocating the resources. Jesh Prabhu is booking a room for us in UC Santa Cruz so that we can have programs. It takes a lot of effort. I'm seeing him, he has to apply for the permit, fill the details. And after so much hard work, he has to go and get it, see the room, whether they allow music there, we can serve food or not. Just to get a room, a facility for a couple of hours, it takes so much hard work. I mean, and we have so many facilities in this material body. There's an There's a capacity to hear, to see, to smell, to touch, and to taste. All these faculties are there. We have our hands, we have legs, we have evacuation organs, we have our speech. Speech is so powerful. Speech, Martin Luther King Jr., I have a dream. Speech transforming hearts even after so many years. Prabhupada books transforming hearts of people, so many years. This faculty, there has to be somebody who's organizing it, who is allocating these faculties and who is withdrawing them back. Just for booking a room in a campus means there is an organization allocating it and then dissolving it. It begins at this time, it ends at this time. So how about our bodily faculties? How much grateful we should be to Krishna, the supreme being. Material civilization without the blessing of the Lord is child's play only. As long as the parents allow the child to play, it is all right. As soon as the parents withdraw, the child has to stop. So just like when parents take a family to Disneyland, so they are enjoying the rides. As long as they pay for the rides, the child can play. But as long as they've said, okay, now we go home, the child has to stop. Many times families go and take their children to beach, so they make their houses with the sand. But as soon as the family says, okay, now we are going back, the child's play has to stop. So similarly, we are trying to make a house in this material world. We are trying to make a happy living, stable living in this material world. But whenever Krishna says, no, now you have to stop. We have to stop. You have to leave everything here. So one should be in alignment with Krishna's plan. Then our plans won't create anxiety. If they are aligned with Krishna's plans, then we won't feel anxiety because they will be eternal. In Bible, Jesus Christ says that what profit a man if he wins the entire world but he loses his own soul? What profit? Build a house in the kingdom of God, not here in the material world. Ek Chakra Prabhu wrote a song called Shifting Sands. Vijay Prabhu give the example, when we take sand in our hand, it just falls away. So don't make a house in a shifting sand. Make a house in a strong foundation, which is eternal. I was thinking this morning that there are only two options we have. Either we can fall prey to Maya, to the illusory energy, or we can fall in front of Radha Madan Mohan and pray for their mercy. So it's up to us what we want to do. Because we are marginal energy, we can either serve matter or we can serve Krishna. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, Ekala Ishwar Krishna Arsabha Vritya. Ye Jaiche Nachai Se Tai Kare Nritya. Only Krishna is the controller, everybody else is a servant. However, he wants to make people dance accordingly, just like a puppeteer. If you don't want to surrender to Krishna, then you surrender to Maya. We'll stop here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Open for any corrections, questions, and reflections. Friendly challenges. Right. Yes, bro.
Yes. Couple of questions. One of them is when it comes to being around people that are not practicing what you're practicing, I feel like a lot of times naturally the mind sees that negatively. But I've noticed, reading along with that Prabhupada while living with some of the American families originally are malls and so
Yeah.
they were eating meats. I think they were eating meat and all these things, but it just didn't. It looked like it didn't even affect them. Like he treated them so nice. How do you? What is the mood you should have? Because what exactly is the mood you should have with people that are not practicing? How do you? How do you get to that point? Like for me, at least, I get a little negative when it comes to my mind. We think about meetings and stuff. I feel disturbed. If they're having it really seem like
Very nice question. We feel repulsed by people who are having or not or intoxication. So, but on the other hand, Srila Prabhupada, he stayed with people who were eating meat and he was giving mercy. He did not affect him. He did not have that negative um, reaction or treatment for those people. Actually, he was very appreciative of them. So, what should be our mood when we deal with such people who are not following the spiritual practice?
yes.
Very nice question. So, we should understand that we are in the process of getting treated. We have this tendency to enjoy the material world. Naturally, we have the tendency to eat meat, drink liquor, and enjoy sex unrestrictedly. This is natural. Prabhupada was saying in one of the classes, you don't have to teach them in the university. Everybody will do it naturally. Even animals do it. You know, an ant goes for a block of sugar. You don't have to teach how to go and should it's automatically naturally attracted because it's an intoxication for ant. So this is natural tendencies of an animal to get attracted to these things. But we are in the process of treatment. We are trying to rejuvenate or um, um, reignite or rekindle our spiritual existence, our soul. So we are on a war against Maya. We are in the process of getting treated, chanting and hearing. This is the process of treatment. On the other hand, there are people who are expert doctors who have been treated and they are actually ready to treat others. So we have to differentiate between a patient who is getting treated and a doctor who is able to treat others. So Srila Prabhupada, he's like an expert doctor. When he is meeting these people who are not following four regulative principles, he sees them as a patient. He doesn't, an expert doctor doesn't hate the patient, he hates the disease. So he's able to see them as such, and he's able to treat them. He's able to stay unaffected by the disease. He has a strong mask, even though he's in strong vicinity of these people, patients, diseased people. He's able to stay free from that infection. On the other hand, a person who is getting treatment, he might not be so advanced. So we should have a distance at our practitioner stage from such people. At the same time, we should develop a mood of prayer and respect for these people because they are spiritual beings. We cannot judge them. We cannot condescend them. That's not a good emotion to have. At the same time, we have to maintain distance because our mask is not very strong.
So just see them as a patient. Naturally, they're obviously a certain Krishna, but it's just disease.
Yeah. At the same time, we should see I am also diseased. So they are like a fellow being. If they are not practicing, then better to maintain a distance because they do not see themselves as diseased.
Yes.
Right now, at least as of now. So we should try to give them an invite to UC Santa Cruz or to a program, meditation program where they can come if they are favorable. If not, then maintain a distance and pray for them, offer them some prasadam, but don't hold any negative emotion in the heart. Everybody is diseased, including me.
That makes sense. The second question I had, it's just a minor one, but I think we heard before that Krishna is self-satisfied, like he doesn't. I think yesterday you mentioned how Bhishma Dev mentioned how Krishna or the gopis, he doesn't have any attraction or anything toward them in the physical. That got me wondering, why does Krishna make it so that people are, like, why are gopis given attractive bodies? Why are all of them living in these spiritual given attractive bodies that he doesn't find any pleasure in those forms? And what's the point of giving attractive bodies to people in the spiritual level? What's
It's a good question. I don't have an answer. Should discuss with some senior later. We'll stop here. Granth Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
This Kautukarnav ki jai.
Okay, start. Jai. Hello, hello. Thank you, late devotees, for joining. One shot to the